Tulsi Gabbard's office. Agents hauled out dozens of boxes, files on the JFK assassination and MK Ultra, the CIA mind control operation, which she was in the process of declassifying. Today's whistleblower said it during his deposition, and Congresswoman Anna Paulina Luna confirmed it moments ago.
The reason why this is troubling is, A, there was an executive order that the president had directed the full declassification of JFK, but then also to the MK Ultra files.
Yeah, things are getting kind of interesting right now. Really, really interesting. Especially when you talk about these MK Ultra files, which, man, you get into the weeds with that, and things can get quite interesting. You know, including, you know, they use methods like covert administration of high doses of psychoactive drugs, especially LSD, but also like other random chemicals on unwitting people. Hypnosis, sensory deprivation, isolation, electroshock therapy, verbal/sexual abuse, and other forms of psychological and physical torture. Yeah, they were pretty much doing, I mean, you name it, and they did it to people. You know, hypnosis, sensory deprivation, sexual abuse, like, you name it, they did it to these folks, man. And some of the people had no clue that they were having some of this stuff put into their veins. Some experiments involved radiation. How cruel do you have to be to do that? Radiation, biological agents, attempts at magic or illusion techniques for deception. I don't know if you guys have ever seen, you know, the videos where they talk about people who have been exposed to radiation and how terrible that is for the human body and how it progresses. Oh, man. And they subjected people to that. That is absolutely disgusting stuff, man. Absolutely disgusting stuff, which, you know, probably why they raided Tulsi Gabbard's office. Now, full disclosure, and I want to throw this up on the screen just for transparency purposes. Her press secretary said that is false. Okay? I don't know. Because also, did you guys know that a lot of those files, as a matter of fact, I think Grok was talking about that as well. Yeah, the full extent will never be known because of the destroyed records. A lot of the files were destroyed. CIA Director Richard Helms, ordered most MK Ultra files destroyed. I think we only have, I believe it was 15 to 20% of the actual files from MK Ultra, because most of them were destroyed. And reading some of the things that they were doing to folks that we know of, I'm not shocked.
Tulsi Gabbard, there are reports that the CIA showed up at her office and removed boxes of files relating to MK Ultra, a controversial brainwashing program, essentially, that the CIA was running in the 50s, 60s, and 70s, and maybe beyond, and also the JFK assassination. Now, as far as we know, I mean, we do know, we've seen the executive orders. These documents were supposed to be public information, and there seems to be more documents that were not released. And the CIA, according to what we've been told right now so far, the narrative, the CIA wants them back. And this is the strangest methodology to get them back. It looks like one agency is kind of at war with their supervisory agency. I don't get it. We are awaiting more information, but it is extraordinary, the reports that are emerging. I'm keeping an eye on Tulsi Gabbard's ex, because it's the go-to place, actually, when politicians want to speak. She hasn't tweeted in 2 days, But others are, like Anna Paulina Luna and more, who are deeply, deeply disturbed by what is happening.
Yeah, as we all should be deeply disturbed. Not only because files were taken out of Tulsi Gabbard's office, and she is supposed to be the oversight, basically the boss of the CIA, but the CIA is taking documents from her. But then also, I thought we had all the files on the MK Ultra, but there's more files, and that's why they wanted to retake them. What's in those files? What do they want to hide? So it was reported that, and I showed you guys on Grok, a lot of the files were destroyed many, many years ago. We can guess why that was. But now we found other files that were supposed to have been released because we were supposed to have had all of the rest of the files that weren't destroyed. But now we found more, and they were with Tulsi Gabbard. But then the CIA said, nah, not so fast. We're coming back to get those. What's in them? What are they hiding? Why did they take them? You know? Lots of questions. Lots and lots of questions. And we got a whistleblower. Take a listen to it.
The CIA refused to provide information necessary to understand why analytical standards at the CIA were violated. The CIA illegally monitored the computer and phone usage of DIG personnel, their investigations, and contact with whistleblowers. These were Americans being spied upon illegally while executing duties directed by the president and under the authority of the Director of National Intelligence. One CIA contractor assisting with the DIG's investigation into the events that transpired between 2022 and 2023 was fired by the CIA one day after meeting with the DIG. When the DIG ceased operations, the CIA also took back 40 boxes of JFK files and MK Ultra files being processed for declassification by DNI Gabbard.
Yeah, wild stuff, man. CIA whistleblower claims the agency took back 40 boxes of JFK and MK Ultra files that Tulsi Gabbard was reviewing for declassification. The whistleblower also alleges the CIA illegally monitored the computer and phone usage of Gabbard's investigators. So the CIA is just doing whatever it wants to do, right? Which we already knew that was the case. But now we kind of, we got confirmation, right? During the probe into the COVID-19 origins cover-up. These were Americans being spied on illegally while carrying out duties directed by the president and under the authority of the Director of National Intelligence. Wild stuff, man. Absolutely wild stuff. Anna Paulina, take it away, please.
You also have some news coming out of the CIA that you'd like to share.
Yeah, so we were actually just notified that the CIA went in and took documents out of ODNI, multiple boxes pertaining to the JFK files as well as MK Ultra. The reason why this is troubling is there was an executive order that the president had directed the full declassification of JFK, but then also to the MK Ultra files. The CIA famously has said that, all documents were released and other documents had been destroyed. So these are allegedly those documents that apparently never existed, and so very troubling. I did just talk to Chairman Comer, and we are sending in the next hour or so a preservation of documents request to the CIA. I have calls into the White House, to the director of the CIA himself, and so obviously as this develops, we'll keep everyone up to date, but strange times we're living in.
So I have a question for you all. Do you think those boxes were the files that they said a long time ago were destroyed and they lied about it? Because the reports, right, is that a lot of the files were destroyed a long time ago. They're long gone. But what if they weren't? What if they weren't? What if they were hidden somewhere? And Tulsi Gabbard found them. And those were the files that she had. And so now the CIA is scrambling like, oh crap. Oh, no. We're taking those back. What do you guys think? What do you think? Let me know in the comments, man. Let me know in the comments. I think that is a reasonable assumption to make, that possibly, those were the files that they said were destroyed. But they lied. And Tulsi found them. And now they were scrambling to get them back. Y'all let me know.
You're assuming he was trying to kill the president.
And the guy's been programmed to do this. He immediately turns, from one way to the other, overnight almost. And we're seeing this more and more, I think.
What do you mean the guy's been programmed?
I think these people are...
You mean like MK Ultra type programming?
100%.
Really?
I think so, but it's a different... MK, you're the expert on it.
I'm not really.
Well,
don't say that.
No, I don't want to get you bumped off here.
Jamie knows more than I do about it.
Let somebody else go start your car when you walk out there and wait 30 minutes.
Don't make me an expert.
But yeah,
I know nothing.
But the CIA, they were grabbing these people up and giving them, I guess, acid or LSD, whatever, and then programming them, and then they said they weren't doing it, and then they got sued, and they said, oh, we lied. We were doing it, but we're not doing it anymore. Now, which time are they not? Here's my thought on this. I think you've got a bunch of people today, because of this, it's just open up your head and pour it in, and they can put these things out to people just enough to where they know that there's going to be a reaction. There's some people, you and I are going to read this stuff and go, and there's some people that are just going to stay awake at night and just fume. I know people that read stuff and they'll call me and text me and said, can you believe this? And I'm like, dude, man, I live this stuff. Cool out. We're good. We're okay. And I think that these folks, they know who they are, and they can target them. How many of these people are we going to find that have no internet access, have no history of being on the internet?
Right, like Thomas Crooks.
Yeah, that's just
one's
total
nuts.
BS. Total BS. Oh, we let him on the roof, and you know, and then
also they couldn't get snipers on that roof because the slope was too steep.
Yeah.
So to wrap that up, basically what Representative Tim Burchett there is saying, hey, listen, I like Tim Burchett. I've talked about Tim Burchett several times on this channel. I think he should be Speaker of the House, personally. Speaker of the House, and we need a new Senate Majority Leader to replace John Thune's pathetic behind, because he is absolutely garbage. Absolutely garbage, and he's up for re-election come 2028 out of South Dakota. So if you live in South Dakota, you know what to do. Vote that mother lover out, okay? Vote him out, please. Replace him with anybody. Isn't Kristi Noem from there? From South Dakota? I believe she is. Replace him with Kristi Noem. I don't care. But replace him, please. Replace him. Vote him out in 2028. South Dakota. Don't forget it. All right? But long story short, they say the MK Ultra experimentation was done a long time ago, but in reality, it's probably still happening. They've just gotten better at hiding it. New technology. Obviously, they have access to anybody and everybody at any given moment. Maybe. It's still happening. What do you think? Let me know. Stay safe out there. Peace and love. I'm out.